I told myself no more Spoopamans after Dreadhalls. After I finished up the last video of the Dreadhall series, and yet here I am, about to play a game jam-packed to the very rim with Spoopamans around every corner. Oh, Spoopamans, why can't I quit you? Hardest difficulty every time. I think I was already, yeah, I was only 2 seconds into this. I had to quit out in order to fix the audio. I figured out what was wrong. I'm smart. I figured out I just had to switch to Rift Audio in Windows. I never had to do that before. Jews are behind this. Only like 2 of them, specifically 2 Jews. So it's plural. Those are some fine looking plastic plants. I'm either in Crisis or in IKEA. These are like office plants. Oh. Oh, hell. Hey. Oh, that's some fine writing. $39.99 for this, everybody. I'm being unfair, though. You need some context to understand why people would pay $40 for this. It's a good game mechanically. But this was one of the first real games. I didn't say great games, but it was long enough to be considered a real fleshed out game, and it had real gameplay. There's a fucking Sam Squanch in these woods. Is it me? Am I the Sam Squanch? I can't see my body. It wasn't me. There would have been a huge Sam Squanch penis if I looked down, if I was the Squanch. I feel safe. He has a credible looking mustache. Well, he's got fapping material with him for those long, cold Antarctic nights. That's the important thing. You don't finish on the picture, because even if you dry it off, it causes the colors to get distorted in that spot, and pretty soon it's all fucking psychedelic. Maybe that makes it better for you. I don't know. Oh shit! This is surprisingly harrowing. I didn't know I had this degree of fear of plane crashes. I'm glad I can't see anything out through the windows. All those levers are supposed to move together, are they? I'm no plane scientist. Welp! And I'm dead. Credits roll. Nope. Edge of Nowhere. Sounds like a concept album that I would listen to in the bath. This is Antarctica, all right. By the looks of these mountains, I'd say we're maybe 30 miles from the Baskin-Robbins experimental ice cream flavor research facility. Welp. Begin eating him. How do I... Which button? How do I eat you? Don't you fucking tell me in this situation that you wouldn't look at that body and think emergency food. I can't eat him. That's bullshit. I can't. Normally I would make use of every part of his body in keeping with the ancient ways of my people. If you inflate his empty scrotum and dry it out, that's a gourd. You can carry water in that. So yeah, this was one of the first games where you could that actually had a narrative to it, actually had gameplay. You have to understand how rough it was in the Wild West days of VR. There really was nothing but like 5-minute demos where you'd run an exe, a bare raw assed exe in a folder, and it would launch direct to your headset, and you'd put the headset on, and there would be some fucking thing to do and look at, and then it would be over, and that was all there was to it. And that was all there was. Nobody really believed in VR enough to make a full-fledged game, and this is about what a full-fledged game looked like in 2007 or 8. The graphics are a little bit better, but in terms of the complexity of the game, I would say this is like a 2007 or 8 game that was released in 2014. No, VR only came out in 2016. It was released in 2016. But it was that was the exciting thing. This would not be remarkable if it wasn't in VR. If you tone down the graphics, this would pass for like a PS2 game, like a middling, modestly budgeted PS2 game in terms of the actual complexity of it and how long it is and how much there is to do. But that was the exciting thing. It was recognizably the kind of thing that we had already seen on non-VR platforms, but in VR. That was a milestone. You have to understand that. It was a milestone towards seeing more and better. On its own merits, I won't say it's a great game overall. I will say it has great moments. There are parts of it that I come back to play over and over. Komm in mein Boot and Stuhl kommt auf. Incomprehensible German. Oh, this is the thing. I recently got my hands on the 1982 and I want to see the 1951 thing. How I don't understand how they could possibly do practical effects for the creature in that version that wouldn't just look silly. Maybe I'm misunderstanding and it wasn't like an alien before. I don't know. The 1982 version still is the best version. I want to say there's also a 2009 version, but I'm not certain. Yay, reading! My favorite. You can do this, though. So it's basically Bioshock, but with books instead of tapes. Hang on. Where is it? Can't see shit. Here it is. I'm going to wear this fan around my neck to simulate wind because I'm just that gay. If you can hear that, I hope you can't. I hope you can't hear that. Maybe I'll turn it down a little bit. There we go. Video game books. That's what gamers want. They want to read on a low-resolution VR screen. They want to read two-dimensional words on a two-dimensional page in low def. That really activates my almonds. Let's see. There might be another body in there. Maybe I just put myself in these survival situations so that I can indulge my cannibalism and have a plausibly deniable reason if I'm justified. Oh, apparently fucking anarchists, ANCAPs, or whoever that yellow and black flag is for came here. They're going to create an ANCAP rapture in Antarctica. There's a free game plot. Anybody can use that. It would be entertaining to watch those people die in an environment like this. God, the 3D looks good. This is a nice complex environment with a lot of high polygon shit going on, like the character model and all those little individual, like, turd-shaped snow pieces. Snowman turds, I guess. I think that's how snowmen work. Don't you fuck me. Don't you fuck... I specifically said 2 seconds ago, don't fuck me, and what did you do? Games don't respect me. It's like they know. This breeze on my face is really fucking immersive. Don't you laugh at me either. Don't knock this until you try it. Little gimmicky things like that can make a huge difference for immersion. If you see wind in the environment and it looks like it should be cold, but you don't feel cold wind, that takes you out. But if you add that yourself, it has a much stronger effect that pulls you in. It's amazing. I do the same thing in Ethan Carter when I'm in the outdoor parts. Now I turn the fan off because I'm in a cave. Some people already came up with a Arduino based hack that synchronizes a fan to in-game environments. I think they also had a water thing that would be like a swamp cooler and chill the air and add humidity to it in varying amounts. I don't know if they had a heating element. If they had a heating element, that would really complete it, because you could have hot air inside like volcano temples and shit. Oh shit. Whoa shit, put the meth down, buddy. On this episode of Cops, this works like Resident Evil 4, which I really appreciate. Give me that ammo. Oh yes. Yes. It feels really good. And I didn't want to replay RE4 again. Even with the badass Wii controls, and even in VR, you can play RE4, the Wii version, in VR now. Unbelievably, because we live in a fantastic future. This feels like, gameplay wise, it feels like a new extension of Resident Evil 4, but with a different setting and different plot, but with the RE4 physics and gameplay. Although it also borrows very heavily from sexy. Are you hard? I am. Frozen. It also borrows, as you'll see, from other games like Uncharted. And I think there's a Tomb Raider game where you do this. This feels really good too. Look, I can make little minor movements with the analog, and it affects the placement of the ice picks. So the ice pick placements are not canned. It's not just an animation that plays as you go up the surface of ice. It's actually finding places on the ice to pin you to, which feels really good and realistic until you do something like that. Here we go. Probably not down. Oh, that's my expert opinion. That ice looks pretty good, the shaders. I want to say parallax? Parallax mapping? Yeah, I'm feeling the ears too, buddy. No, you're in a horror game. Probably your team's not alright. You know that. I'm talking directly to you. Oh, what? Oh, yeah. This is the other thing this game does. Is slight, mild, Eternal Darkness type stuff. But it's all scripted. It's not based on how scared you are. I hate to plug a game that I worked on so many times. Not because I actually don't like plugging it, but because I don't want to be called out on it. But Narcosis does this sort of thing better and goes to a more interesting extreme with it. And it also has both scripted insanity events and insanity events that are based on how much oxygen you have. So that's not even a humble brag. That's a straight up brag, and I'm not sorry. So check out Narcosis. I was mentioned in a SML podcast about that recently. They talked about the consulting I did for the habitat designs and the writing I did for the horror aspect of it. That ice looks really good because it's transparent too. You can see another layer of ice that has different depth value to it underneath. Your Netflix is here in the mailbox. I didn't know they still mailed Netflix. I didn't know anybody still did that. That's pretty cool. Should I bring it in? Whoa. We could watch it. Well, that's not very congenial of you, my friend. And he was a ghost all along, as I always knew in my heart. It's dubstep. Watch it be dubstep. Oh, that would have been perfect. A fucking Skrillex record on like a 1920s gramophone. I'm Nigerian Prince Utumbe Wakanawa, and I have $3 million I would like to share with you. I want to play a RPG set in the present, like the modern day, where you're a rich guy who gets taken for everything you have by an email scammer. So you go on an adventure to Nigeria to try to get your money back, and all sorts of fucked up, depraved baboosery happens along the way because you never actually learned your lesson and you're still basically gullible. You start to see cool stuff like this. Like, why is that in a cave? What is this plant life? We are meant to believe that there's alien life thriving here. Oh, look at those worm effects. That's a really good use for shaders. You normally see shaders used for material properties. But this, like, imagine trying to do this with individually 3D modeled worms. It actually looks creepier this way. I'm going to regret choosing the hardest difficulty level because it's not actually difficult for me, but it limits the ammo, so you have less fun with combat. I'm actually going to have to get good at stealth, which I never did on my first couple playthroughs. Why don't you comment on those weird fucking tentacle plants? How about that, buddy? What am I? Oh, yeah. I'm on creep. Whoa! That's an alien nutsack. I know scrotums of all types when I see them. Don't you try to deceive me. I have my own right here to compare it to. And if you can see the ground lighting up as I walk on it, yeah, that's like creep from StarCraft, and it or that mist in Alien 1, where when Ripley steps into that egg chamber in the downed spacecraft, all the eggs become aware of her presence. That's what this shit is. I'm gonna have to rely a lot more on rocks now. I'm a dumb motherfucker. The first of many Spoopamans to come. They make such gross noises too. Like that. I really hope the audio does actually work. Consequently, I have a lot of videos now that are just me talking over silence. But why would you not want to hear the soft, sultry, dulcet tones of my voice talking about buttholes and clown sex to you? Relevant philosophical topics for our modern age, I believe. You'll later find out these things are basically just red barrels. The red barrels of this game, because you can trigger them by throwing rocks at them while another enemy is close by, and it will frag that enemy. Ah, 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 oh, 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 oh. The texture work just looks fantastic. A lot of the places, it feels kind of low rent in a superficial way that they get away with doing stuff in textures that they should have 3D modeled, but at the same time, it looks so good in high detail. I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad. I'm a little hard. Always, but especially right now. That's my secret. I'm never not hard. That's how you do it. Don't come out of me. I mean, come out of there or out of me. Either way. Either would be disagreeable. I don't know why Spoopamans will start listening to me now. Just one of these books should be like raunchy fan fiction. Like sick Doug fan fiction. Being able to look around really fucking helps you, even in a third-person game. That was the other thing people said about this. They said, what's the point of a third-person VR game? Isn't the idea of VR to make you feel like you were there? But being able to see my cool, detailed player model and have the spatial awareness around him and see in 3D so I can judge the distances for jumps. It solves a lot of the problems with third-person games, especially normally the camera doesn't know what you want it to do, but now I am the camera. So there's never a situation now where I want the camera to be looking somewhere and it's stupid and it's not looking. Ah. I shall call you Scrotor. Lord of the Balls. There are balls near him. Oh, 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 ah, This feels really good to play, even though it's controller-based. What would you even do? Wait. I can imagine using touch controllers to do motion control type stuff for climbing. I don't know if it would actually be any good. Can you imagine that? Because your hands wouldn't be where the pickaxes are. You would just have to do like Nintendo Wii type motions. Would that enhance the game at all, or would it just feel gimmicky? I can't tell. I'd have to try it. Oh, this is some fucking unstable ice. I'm gonna sue the government of Antarctica for unsafe climbing environments. You can do a lot of unrealistic jumps in this game, thank goodness. What is that sound? Probably there's not an answer to that I'm gonna like. These beautiful textures, I want to cry. There's a lot of these you see really up close for a long time while you're climbing, so if they look like shit, you'd be stuck looking at shitty fucking textures for several minutes, and that would not be a good scene. This is a Mass Effect shit. Uh-oh. There's shit moving. These are just the little fuckers, so you don't even need the gun to take these out. Eat shit, you little piece of shit. Rip and tear. Oh, I've got no No rocks left. Rip and tear though. I need a chains. There needs to be DLC chainsaw for this. I want to Doom guy this shit. Once you have ripped and torn a single time, it becomes your answer to all of life's problems. Boss fires you, rip and tear. Girlfriend dumps you, rip and tear. Can't get a turd out of your body, rip and tear. Yeah, probs. Simultaneous orgasms? That's cool, but really the potential of insanity effects is to happen when you're scared or to scare you, and they don't really have that effect in this game. They're just like little neat obligatory interludes. They're just like FMVs basically. I don't want to talk shit about it, but it's a missed opportunity. They only really included them because this is a Lovecraft inspired game, and you have to have madness in a Lovecraft game. But they didn't even do as good of a job of capturing the feeling of losing your mind as they could have. More scrotums everywhere I look. God damn it, it's like a Tootsie Roll commercial. Ah, but with wrinkly ball sacks. Am I? Is it Freudian? Am I just seeing ball sacks because they have them on my mind? No, that's a ball sack. Tell me that's not a fucking ball sack. You can't. You would have to lie to my face. Oh, welp. Welp. Catch me outside. How about that? I'm sorry. I know when I'm in the wrong. Shit. Shit. I remember these being tense, and these sequences only got worse. Not like shitty worse, but I'm not breathing right now. Okay. Those things are easy to kill if you're good at stealth, and I'm not. Because if you put a single pickaxe in their ass chunk, whatever you want to call that, their back scrotum. Oh shit, maybe Scrotor is just like their larval form. Scrotor. It's like a Pokemon, Scrotum Pokemon. Scrotor, Scrotor, Scro. That's logical. You just escaped monsters. Why don't you make yourself completely vulnerable in a tent that offers no real environmental protection? She's not even that hot. I'm just saying. Well, he does have a very credible looking podium and both a beard and a mustache. Why would you doubt him? Look at his beard and mustache. But that's the facial hair of an expert. Literally ancient aliens. He was just the ancient alien guy of the 1920s. Back then you couldn't get away with like the giant Babylon 5 hair. But you could still talk about ancient aliens and people would listen. It's a perfect theory. You can explain anything with it. Why is there blood in my pee? Ancient motherfucking aliens. How come my pee-pee won't get hard anymore? Ancient motherfucking aliens. Why do I get violently mad every time I see a beautiful woman? Ancient fucking aliens did that. Shut up so I can climb. Shut up. Shut up, I don't care. Okay, here we go. Why am I going back into here after I just got chased by monsters? Ancient motherfucking aliens. This is a pretty good stopping point. He's got the goggles from that Rammstein music video, Ohne Dich. Look at the fur effects on his collar. Look at his breath coming out. We get it, dude. You vape. Okay, there's rope here. I could continue, but I think it's already been at least 30 minutes. Look at those fucking footprints too. There we go. That's video game technology, friends. Holy moly. I'm going to cut it short here. Like and subscribe so I can buy games newer than 2016. This one's going to be a pretty fun playthrough, though. This has a lot of fun stealth and RE4 style shooting in it, so stay tuned for future episodes. Or don't. I can't really tell you what to do ever since your mom and I split up. I only get you on the weekends, but you know, I don't love you any less just because, we live separately now. She doesn't let you play video games, though, does she? She's a fucking bitch. I want you on my side.